Well, it's H1N1, also referred to as the swine flu, and that's because influenza viruses actually circulate amongst pigs, chickens, and humans. And this particular one is thought to have originated on a pig farm, spread from a pig to a human. And so it got the name swine flu. The H1N1 actually is a scientific description of the virus itself, and the H1 and the N1 refer to the outer covering of the virus.
You hear people calling it novel, meaning it's new, the way it's put together. The CDC actually says that when they really went down in like the DNA of this, it really isn't the same that we saw years ago. So they all mutate a little. Just
recently there's a documented case of a pet cat and a couple pet ferrets that are lab confirmed H1N1. So where traditionally influenza can't be spread to pets, in the last week that has occurred. Healthcare providers are going on the assumption that if you have flu-like symptoms that with a fever that you in fact have H1N1.
Correct.
They don't have the capacity to test every single person that has flu symptoms, so they're going on the assumption that it is H1N1. There are sentinel sites where they're testing different specimens, and all that testing is showing that H1N1 is the prominent virus circulating. You're not going to know whether you have seasonal or H1N1. You know, you're basically going to have a fever with a cough, a sore throat, possibly runny nose, body aches. You're going to feel pretty sick.
You'll be sitting here with me, okay, you go back to your office, and you suddenly feel that way. I mean, you get the chills, and you feel yourself so hot, compared to just having a cold or a sore throat. You know, one day you get up, your throat's scratchy, you drink some tea, you feel better. That's not the flu. So the flu hits you in that kind of a way. If you've ever known anyone who had it, that's how they'll describe it. You know, I just suddenly start to sweat, get real cold, and then I start having all of those symptoms.
Seasonal influenza kills about 36,000 people annually nationwide. That's about 2,500 people in New York. Most of those people are, 90% of those people are over the age of 65 and have other health conditions. The H1N1 has been fatal to far fewer. We'll put it that way at this point. You know, unfortunately, higher incidence of deaths have occurred in the young folks and in pregnant women.
The CDC quotes that on an average year, 5% to 20% of the entire United States population will get the flu. It's pretty big.
This is a more virulent, meaning it spreads quicker, simply because we humans, at least younger humans, have never been exposed to an H1N1, so you have no immunity. In other words, your body has to be exposed to something in order to recognize it as a threat and to respond with the immune system. And people do not have any immune response to H1N1. It's thought that the H1N1 is affecting mostly young people, and there's a very low incidence of people over the age of 65 who are getting it. And it's thought that they were exposed to, you know, a very similar H1N1 in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and that's perhaps why they're not getting it. Okay. One of the thoughts. It's not necessarily scientifically proven. Yeah. It is also thought that young people have a very robust immune system, and it's possible that they have a sort of, you know, overdone immune response to the virus, which is causing them to be more severely ill and a higher death rate with the younger folks. I think we're living the science right now. I think in the next 4 years they'll have real answers to your question. You know, why are the young people getting it? You know, why is it, you know, college kids and young kids that are being affected? I think it's important for people to, at this point, not panic. You know, the vast majority of the illness is mild to moderate. There's a vaccine, and there's a lot of steps you can take to keep yourself well, and there's a lot known about the virus at this point. And it's going to happen again. Every year we will face this. This is not something that's ever going to go away for some reason. It comes with the winter months. You know, we watch it across the whole world. That's what we're watching right now. Is it Australia or the South? Where are we in winter? One part of the world. So CDC is very clearly watching what's happening in other parts of the world to see how we're going to fare. And they expect it to come in waves. The spring in April was the first wave. This would be the second wave, and they expect a third wave later on in the flu season in the spring. We see a lot around the holidays. Think about it. We're going to buy gifts. We're in parties. We're going different places. That's why you see people getting sicker near Christmas and the beginning of January. And it's just the way we live.